Welcome to this next class of special theory of relativity. In this class, we are going to continue the previous topic, that is, we were looking at relativistic dynamics. In the previous class, we saw that if we use Lorentz transformation, then the laws of physics become relative, that is, different for different inertial frame of reference. Now, we don't want this to happen. And this is the first principle of special theory of relativity, that all the laws of physics are same in all the inertial frame of reference. So we don't want them to become different for different inertial frames. Last time we also saw an example of an object which exploded into two small objects. And we saw that if we apply Lorentz transformation, the law of conservation of momentum was not obeyed in S dash frame of reference, that is, moving frame of reference. Now in this lecture, we are going to try and find out how this law of conservation of momentum can be obeyed in both the frame of reference. So in this class, we are going to redefine momentum. We are going to find out a new definition of momentum. Now let us try to understand what do we mean by redefining this momentum. By redefining, try to understand that we have this definition of momentum: mass into velocities. Now this definition of momentum is not a wrong definition of momentum. It is a definition which is applicable only in some special cases, that is when the velocity is low, at low velocities. But when the velocity becomes higher, this definition no longer is valid. So this definition is not altogether wrong. It is applicable for low velocities. So what do we mean by redefining is that we are looking at a general definition of momentum. General definition means a definition which will be applicable to all the situations. All the situations means at low velocities, at high velocities, both. So we are looking for such a definition. Now we already know some things about this momentum, and we are going to use those information to find out the new definition. So what do we know about the momentum? We know that at low velocity, the definition of momentum is m into v. If the velocity is low, then this is the definition of momentum. And we also know that the new definition or the new momentum should be a function of velocity. It is because of this velocity that the laws of conservation is not obeyed in moving frame of reference. So it has to depend on velocity. So this momentum should be a function of velocity of that object. Velocity of that object. Try to understand, this v is velocity of object. So we already know these two things about momentum, and we are going to use these things while redefining or finding out a general definition of momentum. So the new definition, the form of new definition, what it will look like, we already know. So this momentum should be m into v into some function of this velocity of this object, and this reduces our problem to finding out what is that function. Now redefining momentum means we will have to find out what is the function of the velocity. So our problem is reduced. Okay, now let us look how to derive an expression for this momentum. Now we have understood that what we are looking for is the what is the function of velocity that the momentum depends on, and try to remember this velocity is the velocity of the object. So we will take the same example here that we took in the previous case. That is an example of an object of mass m exploding into two small pieces of equal masses, and these equal masses will be traveling in opposite direction. So if we look from S frame of reference, that is the stationary frame of reference, then these objects will be traveling in opposite direction with same velocity. And initially the initial momentum of that object will be 0. Mass into velocity is 0, so initial momentum of this object will be 0, and final momentum, if you find, will be also 0. The total of final momentum will be also 0. That means the law of conservation of momentum is obeyed in S frame of reference. Now we will look at S dash frame of reference. Now try to remember that this S dash frame of reference is traveling with velocity v. This is small v towards the right, and this object, let us call this object number 2 and this object number 1. This second object is also traveling in the same direction, so it will appear to be stationary from S dash frame of reference. So this second object is stationary and its mass, let us call it as m0. What this m0 means is that mass of the object which is at rest. Now in S dash frame of reference, this object number 2 is at rest, so let us call it m0. And this object number 1 is moving towards left. Let us say its velocity is v as observed from S dash frame of reference, and its mass, let us call it as m. Now this m we are assuming is different from this m0. What is the reason? Because we want to find out the new definition of momentum. So we are assuming that mass is, when it is traveling, is not the same as when it is at rest. So we are using a different symbol and calling it a relativistic mass. Otherwise, the law of conservation of momentum will not be valid in this frame. We have already applied Lorentz transformation and seen what happens. So we are calling this mass as relativistic mass and using a different symbol for this mass. Now we have seen that this initial momentum, if we try to find out initial momentum, this mass before explosion, if you see from S dash frame, is traveling towards left. It will appear to be traveling towards the left with velocity small v. So initial momentum will be mass, that is capital M into small v, and minus because it is traveling towards the left. And the final momentum, if we find, will be m relativistic mass into velocity. Now this velocity is capital V to differentiate from the velocity of the frame of reference. Velocity of the frame of reference is small v and velocity of that object is capital V. Again, this is also negative because it is traveling towards the left as seen from the S dash frame of reference. Now we know how to find this V by using Lorentz transformation. U dash x is equal to ux minus v divided by 1 minus v square divided by c square. V square divided by c square. Now here u dash x means capital V and ux means the velocity in the stationary frame of reference. Velocity in the stationary frame of reference is small v, and this v is also velocity of the frame of reference is also small v. So let us replace these values. We will get capital V is equal to small v minus v. Now this ux is negative. Ux is negative. As you can see that this object number 1, that is the object that we are talking about, is traveling towards the left. So it is negative. So this will be minus v divided by 1 minus into minus will become plus. 1 plus small v square divided by c square. So we will get minus 2v divided by 1 plus v square divided by c square. Now let us replace this value in final momentum. In final momentum, P of F will be minus, we have already taken this minus sign, 2m, that is the relativistic mass, into small v divided by 1 plus v square divided by c square. Now what do we want? We want the initial momentum to be equal to the final momentum. So that is the condition we will take for further derivation. So we will take initial momentum is equal to final momentum. Now initial momentum is minus capital M into small v, capital M into small v, and final momentum is minus 2m small v, this is relativistic mass, divided by 1 plus v square divided by c square. Now here we can cancel this negative sign here, this negative sign will cancel, and this v will also cancel. Further we can replace this capital M. Now what is this capital M? Capital M is the sum of these two masses which are formed after explosion. It should be equal to the sum of two masses. By the law of conservation of mass, mass is neither created nor it is destroyed. So this capital M should be equal to this m0, that is the rest mass, the object which is not moving in S dash frame of reference, plus this moving mass, that is the relativistic mass. So we'll replace this value. So m0 plus relativistic mass m is equal to 2m divided by 1 plus v square divided by c square. Now we can take this relativistic mass on the right hand side. It will become negative. So we will have 2m. Okay, I will try to take the same on the other side. I will just rub here, rub from here, and write it on the other side. It will become minus m. Now we can take this relativistic mass as common, and in the bracket we will have 1 plus v square by c square minus 1. Now this v is the small v, that is the velocity of the frame of reference. Now we can take the common LCM here. 2 minus, this will go in the numerator, it will become 1 minus v square divided by c square, and the denominator will be 1 plus v square by c square. Now 2 minus 1, that means we will get 1 minus v square by c square in the numerator, and denominator we will get 1 plus v square by c square. So now we have got a relation between rest mass and relativistic mass, that is the mass which is moving. But this relation is in the form of, or in the terms of, this small v. Try to remember, this v that I have written is the small v. Sometimes maybe I have not used the proper symbol for that v, but it is the small v. That means we have got relation in terms of velocity of the frame of reference. Now do we want this, or we wanted the relation in terms of the velocity of the object? If you remember, we wanted the relation in terms of velocity of the object. So we will have to find that. Now to find that, what we will do is we will take this 1 minus capital V square divided by c square. Capital V is the velocity of the object. Now we know that this capital V is equal to 2V divided by 1 plus V square divided by c square. It is negative, but we are going to take square, so it will become again positive. So we will put this value in this term. So 1 minus capital V square by c square will be equal to 1 minus this 4V square. 2V square will become 4V square divided by 1 plus V square divided by c square bracket square. And we have c square in the denominator also. This c square is there in the denominator also. I will just write it here, c square. Now again we will take LCM. Now if we take the LCM, that means we will have to multiply this 1 plus V square by c square whole bracket square minus 4V square divided by c square. The common denominator will be 1 plus V square divided by c square. This will be the common denominator. Now what we will do is we will expand this bracket. We will expand this bracket. On this side we have small v, that is velocity of the frame of reference. On this side, that is, we have this as capital V, that is velocity of the object. So don't get confused on the V's. This side it is small v, on this side it is capital V. And we are doing this so that we can express the relation between rest mass and relativistic mass in terms of velocity of the object. So now let us try to expand this bracket. Now if we expand this bracket, that means we will have a square, that is 1 square, plus 2ab, that is 2b square by c square, plus we will have v square divided by c square, the whole bracket square, minus 4v square by c square, and this whole is divided by 1 plus v square by c square. Now we can subtract this term. This term can be subtracted, 2v square by c square minus 4v square by c square. So what we will get? We will get 1 minus 2v square by c square plus v square divided by c square, the whole bracket square, and this whole is divided by 1 plus v square by c square. Now in the numerator, if you are able to identify, it is nothing but a minus b square, where a is 1 and b is v square divided by c square. So we will now condense this bracket. In the numerator we have 1 minus, the denominator in all of these cases, I have not written, it is bracket square. This is bracket square. So in the numerator we have 1 v square by c square, a minus b bracket square, divided by 1 plus v square by c square bracket square. On the left hand side we have 1 minus capital V square by c square. Now what did we want? Now if you look at the RHS, it is same as this. Let us call this equation number 1. There we have bracket square, here square is not there, so we will try to obtain this. So in this equation that we have obtained, we will square on both sides. On this side we will have 1 minus v square, this is capital V, by c square is equal to 1 minus v square, this is small v, divided by c square whole divided by 1 plus small v square divided by c square. We have squared on both brackets. Now this is present in equation number 1. So now this can be replaced by root of 1 minus capital V square by c square. Now this capital V is the velocity of the object, that is what we wanted. So let us write this as equation number 2, and substituting this value, that is 1 minus v square by c square, this is small v, divided by 1 plus v square by c square as root of 1 minus capital V square by c square in equation 1. We will substitute this and we will get what we wanted. M, that is relativistic mass, is equal to m naught, and so substituting this value, now in equation number 1 is m naught is equal to relativistic mass into this factor. Now we can replace this factor as 1 minus v square by c square. Here the v is the velocity of the object. So m, that is relativistic mass, is equal to m0, that is the rest mass, divided by root of 1 minus v square divided by c square, where v is the velocity of the object. Now the definition of momentum we can write, that is the new definition of momentum, mass, that is m0 divided by root of 1 minus v square divided by c square into velocity. Now these both velocities are same in numerator and denominator, it is the velocity of the object. Now it will be interesting to see that whether this reduces to the same definition, that is mass into velocity, if the velocity is low. You can do this by taking some small value of v, such as 10 meter per second, 14 meter per second, any value you can take, but don't take it comparable to the velocity of light. What you will find is it will reduce to p is equal to m naught into v. That is the old definition of momentum. So in this lecture we have seen that we can obey the law of conservation of momentum only if we find a new definition of momentum. And this new definition of momentum was required because the laws of physics or the law of conservation of momentum was not getting conserved when we applied Lorentz transformation. Now if we use this definition of momentum, that is mp is equal to m naught into v divided by root of 1 minus v square divided by c square, the law of conservation of momentum is now obeyed in both the frame of reference. So we have now redefined the momentum. In the next class we will try to redefine more things. Why we are doing this? So that the first law, the first principle of special theory of relativity, which tells us that laws of physics are same in all the inertial frame of reference, should be followed. So we are trying to follow these two principles. In doing so, we are changing a lot of things, but it is required because they give us general definition of lot of things, not only special definitions, which is given by Newtonian physics at low velocities. General special theory of relativity gives new definitions which are general cases which are applicable in all the situations. So let us meet in the next class. Thank you.